What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I've got a run stand today for you. We're gonna go over. Let's check it out. All right, here's the stand. Now, mostly this is a lot of scrap pieces and stuff that I had laying around the shop. But then, another half is probably stuff I had to buy. So it's a good mix. You know, you get the idea in your head and you see what you might have kicking around that you can use. And then when you get the ball rolling, you realize, oh, I need a lot of stuff. So I'll tell you what I did here, you guys. The frame is just 2x2 square tubing. I do have some like 1x1 here for the rear, some 1-inch tube, and then I think the uprights for the mounts are 1.5x2. So it's a bunch of scrap metal. I just used what I had, you know. I didn't want to spend $300 on material if I could kind of get this thing rolling without spending a bunch of money on everything. So what we're looking at over here is a big kind of bird's nest of wiring. I don't know if I'm going to clean it up or not. It's pretty, functional and out of the way, so I might just leave it. But I didn't put an alternator on this engine, and I don't know if I will for this one, but in the future I think I will end up doing an alternator, because the deep cycle battery there works great. You can run it for a long time before it, for a really long time before it would be a low enough voltage where I'd be concerned about hurting the battery. But it would be nice to have an alternator and actual 14.5 plus volts for the Holley EFI, which I guess I can get to that now. I did put a Terminator X kit on the run stand, which is seriously awesome for adaptability. And I can run any freaking fuel injector or map sensor or 58X or 28X crank, and it's, you can do anything. I can run anything on here if it's LS based with that. And obviously I could get a harness for something else, I guess, if I wanted to put a different engine on the stand. But it's just great to be able to not have be relying on a stock PCM and maybe only using like a stock truck intake with the same set of injectors every time, which is kind of modular, I guess, and be easy for in the future. But a lot of stuff I build is turbo with big injectors and big map sensors, and so it's going to be nice to be able to just fire pretty much anything on here and test everything and look for leaks and whatever else. As you can see, I ran it already, and I found a little water pump leak here. I think there's like pipe threads on this outlet, and this thing was assembled when I got it, but they must not have put like thread dope on there. You see it just dripped. So I gotta seal that up. But that's nice to be able to run the thing on the run stand and find that too, and not be like in the truck. It's going in this S10 over here. And hunting for leaks, after. And also, I was able to find that my little sensor adapter here for the turbo feed line and retains the stock oil pressure sensor is leaking a little bit. So I'll be able to seal that too, which is nice. On the stand, it's right here. And the truck's back by the firewall. So nice, easy access right here. And good to know that it's leaking now rather than later. Okay, back on the stand, sorry. C5 Corvette bell housing. I got on eBay for $60. I don't know if the description said that it was cracked. I don't think it did, but it definitely has a crack right here, which is kind of, not cool. I'm a little upset about that, but $60, can't complain. It's on the run stand, so whatever. Not too worried about it. 1 gallon fuel cell, cheapest one I could find on Summit. I think it was, those are pretty pricey still. I think it was under 100, but it was pretty close if I remember right. Just a high pressure, fuel injection pump and little post pump filter. I did do AN hose for the return and the feed, because you can just adapt it to anything. It's -6, which is plenty for running on the run stand. And you can get -6 to the quick connect, you can get -6 to pipe thread, you can get -6 to freaking whatever size you need. So I think that was a good route to go for the fuel system, was to go AN stuff. The radiator is an eBay radiator for a 64 to 66 Mustang. I think those run 90 or $100 too. This one was just left over from an old project. Same with the fan, just a 12-inch Mishimoto fan. Yeah, obviously my biggest expense was the Holley, the Terminator. I think those are like $12.50 now. So that's kind of a chunk of change to just throw at a run stand, but I think I'm gonna use it enough to be able to justify that. Plus it has a little resale and like I said, all the adaptability. I do have a relay here with a pretty jerry-rigged fuse setup for the cooling fan and the water pump on this application right here on this. That all works excellent. I was idling it earlier and it maintained like 130 degrees. I could not get it to go over that, which was pretty neat. The other nice thing about using the Holley is it already has the circuits for the fuel pump power. So I didn't have to really wire anything for that. It has the relay and the fuse for that already on there. So yeah, I'm gonna fire it. Oh, I can show you the ground, my cables. I just have a big ground here going to the block right there, and then the positive going to the starter. And then all my other powers and stuff are just on the stud here. Nice thing about this marine battery is it has the stud and the post, which is cool. Super helpful. So yeah. You know, another benefit I noticed to doing this was I got to build all my fuel hoses and stuff like right here on the stand, and just a lot easier than leaning over the radiator support or the fenders and trying to do that stuff. So now like this thing runs, so I can literally just pluck it off of here. All the fuel lines are done, drop it in the truck, and it's just that much more easy to kind of get the engine ready to go, right? And you know that it runs good. So let's fire it up. Nice. You can tell the accelerator enrichment, it's a little off when it's a little cold there. So when I was first revving it, it was kind of popping and stuff. But that'll be bugs I work out when I get the engine in the truck and the tune straightened out. But oh, and the other thing was I have an offset on the oil pressure sensor, minusing like 20 psi because it was so far off last night when I first fired it that it was reading 20 just with the engine off. So I did an offset. Now it's reading okay, so the pressure reads like 30 when it's actually 50. So I gotta fix that in the tune. But anyways, super happy with this thing, and I gotta go put some thread dope on that water pump fitting. So I'll see you guys in the next video. I think it's gonna be on some updates on old Ron Burgundy.